began using the Google Apps Suite back in 2009. We actually introduced it as a supplemental device, and it really was about the collaboration. That's really what drove us to seeing it. So we adopted it. I was a very big supporter of the idea that it has to be easy, otherwise people just wouldn't use it. So we integrated it with our existing logins in Active Directory. We were using the Microsoft Active Directory system at the time. So we integrated all the logins. Google didn't have all the tools I had then, so we used some single sign-on capabilities, third-party ones, to make it so we can get in. And we kind of just put it out there and said, hey, it's there for you to use. Check out the collaboration tools. The fact that, and this is going back to 2009, you can have a student sitting in the room working on a document with somebody who's sitting anywhere else in the world at the same time. And at that time, it was unique. It was something that you didn't see anywhere else. And it kind of just grew. And the other thing back at that time was a lot of people were using USB drives to bring devices, content back and forth. Well, here you didn't need to do that anymore. You can go home and you would have the exact same experience you had at school. And we really saw that, we started seeing some students use it for that purpose. It was just easier. I had all my documents there. I didn't need to transfer anything. But where it started taking off in the curriculum was in literacy, specifically middle school literacy. And what would happen was the teachers would bring the students into the computer labs, and the teacher would sit in the back of the room. And while the students were working on papers, the teacher would going in and commenting, highlighting, making additions, recommendations. And this is back when the student was working. All of a sudden, he'd see like the teacher's cursor, and he's like, this is fantastic. And it really kind of threw their minds a little bit, and everybody just started liking it. So at that point, it just started growing. And we never really pushed it so much as promoted it. Just said, hey, here's this tool. You can use it if you want. And it was around 2000, going into the 2012 school year, we had a big contingent of staff now using it. It kind of had grown on its own. Again, it comes back to collaboration. At that point, from 2009 to 2012, when it started, it was very rudimentary. It was like you could type, you could do some basic things, and it was always, well, it can't do this, and it can't do that. And by the time 2012 came along, it was like, it can do this, it can do that now. It can really start to replace what we've used to use and become this collaborative environment. So around 2012, we had more than 50 to 60% of our staff and student population. In students, it was more like close to 70, 80% using it on some regular basis. At that point, we needed to change out our mail server anyway, and Google Mail was free. The whole Google Apps obviously was free. Mm-hmm. And so in 2012, we made a district decision to fully adopt the Google Apps Suite as the district's main, collaboration tool and main word processing and productivity tool. We focused on the Google Apps as the foundation, and then started adding other tools as well. The main reasons why at that point in 2012 was we were looking at costs, and we were looking at, we had a whole mail server we had to change out. That was pretty expensive. Looking at licensing for other suites is expensive. We also were had looked at other suites such as OpenOffice, which just didn't pan out the way we wanted it to. But the Google Apps really kind of met all of our needs. And the fact that it was that device agnostic, it was accessible anytime, anywhere, really just drove us in that direction.